Everybody's got a pain inside, imaginary wounds they fight to hide. How can I hate them when everybody's got a pulse?
Welcome to GayTalk 2.0, the ultimate podcast for your dose of dish.
Good evening and welcome back, ladies and gents, to another episode of GayTalk 2.0, an LGBT podcast. We are coming to you live on our YouTube channel for all of our Patreon subscribers. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. And before we get started, we wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that on this very same day, 8 years ago, the mass shooting at Club Pulse took place, and we lost 49 brothers and sisters of our community. And as always, we wanted to make sure that we took time to acknowledge that and to hold those that we lost dear in our hearts, as we always do year after year. That was a very tragic event, and one that shaped who we are today as a community and how we deal with mass shootings and even how we interact with people in clubs. So my name is Tom, and I'm your host, and as always, I'm in the studio with my amazing co-host. We're starting with the first one.
Hey, y'all, Nick or Trish.
And
J Bear, a.k.a. your boyfriend's boyfriend.
And welcome to the show. So, I think it's fitting, because of what it is today, to talk a little bit about what happened on June 12th, how we felt, where we were. I can tell you that, I knew exactly where I was on June 12th when I heard the news, when the news came in. And, I worked at at the time as a bartender at a gay bar. I was working that night when we closed the bar at 2 a.m. News flashes started coming through on people's phones about everything that was going on. And I remember feeling a sense of losing that security that we feel in our safe spaces, right? Immediately after just, getting seconds of news blurbs on your phone coming in, notifications, and then watching what unraveled afterwards, as the night went on and the sun rose over Orlando and Club Pulse. It was pretty crazy. So, Nick, where were you when this happened?
I was in Colorado.
Yeah. I remember you were on vacation.
I mean, it wasn't really a vacation, but
you were away.
I was away.
Yeah.
It was my best girlfriend's wedding.
That's what it was.
And she woke me up the next morning with the news.
Wow. And how did you take that?
I was shocked, right? So it didn't really hit me until like maybe mid-afternoon. We were all outside playing cornhole and like just hanging out. I was sitting in the grass and I just started bawling and I had to go inside. And then my best friend's mom came in and sat with me and I was like, I don't know why, I just can't stop crying.
Right.
Obviously it was because of Pulse and because of who we lost and the way we lost 49 individuals. But
right.
I think one of the most powerful things that came out of it is when I got back, you and me sat down and said, what are we going to do?
Right. I remember that, for us, it had always been about, let's start a show. Let's talk shit about everyone. Let's just get very crazy. I mean, we still do some of that, right? But that's the direction we wanted to go. We wanted to be very catty, very comical, very in your face, and
fun, yeah,
and make it fun. I mean,
but also informative,
right? But mainly that was the route that we wanted to take the show in. And then when Pulse happened, you're right, we sat down and we had a very in-depth conversation about what do we do with this, right? This was something so tragic for our community that how do we come out of this on the other end?
Yeah, and I remember
fulfilled.
And I remember sitting there, and I remember Melissa Etheridge had released that song, Pulse, and we said, well, let's reach out to her, and then it became a staple for 49 episodes.
It was a weird thing though, because so we didn't initially like decide. But before we get into that, Jay, where were you? I'm sorry, because we're gonna leave him out. He wasn't here for part of that.
I wasn't here for any of that.
Right.
Actually, I was
Sucking dick in some bathroom somewhere.
possibly, maybe
For those 49 episodes.
49.
Somewhere over the rainbow, you
Yeah,
found Jay in a
yeah.
pot of not cold but cum.
Yeah,
But anyway,
Oh,
yeah,
that's not
that's not a bad idea, right? Let's find a
Wasn't
leprechaun.
that in Caligula?
Let's find a leprechaun now.
The leprechaun.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, but where were you? And you know, as one of the most, which I think actually is the most like ostracized parts of our community as a bisexual man, where were you and how did you feel about that?
I was working. Actually, I used to work at Trevi. At the time, I was working the door at the bar. It was nerve wracking. I remember it was nerve wracking. You know, and for the most part, you know, a lot of people that do go to these places, you know, to hang out and listen to music, it's their safe place.
Right.
It's their safe space. And you know, those actions kind of took that safe space feeling away.
Right.
Right. You know, I understand, you know, a lot of people advocate for gun safety and so on and so forth. I carry. So, you know, at the time I was a little bit more relief because I was able to carry. So if anything were to happen, I think I was a little more prepared,
Right.
kind of, sort of, you know, but I was definitely more vigilant, especially when people that weren't regulars would pop up.
Right.
For at least a couple of months, easy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it was just extra vigilant and watching out who came and who left and who was outside and who drove by too many times. You know, you kind of become very hyper vigilant.
Right.
And same thing with, you know, having kids in schools and you have these school shootings happen and first thing you want to do is check on yours, you know?
Right.
So it was difficult, you know, for a while.
Right.
It was very difficult. I mean, everything was like very hyper attentive.
Right.
We are, it's funny because, well, it's not funny, but we are talking to a new insurance broker for the theater, just for certain things, but they offer a active shooting training. And I sat down with him a couple weeks ago and I was like, look, I think this is one of the first things that we need to do. We haven't done this with the new staff, right?
Right.
And I was like, I hate to have this conversation with you, but the reality is in this current world, it's necessary. And he's like, I know it's really sad that we have to have this conversation. And as an insurance brokerage firm, I continue to have this conversation and it's not easy.
It never is. I mean, you're talking about, you know, planning for the eventuality of a shooting. It's not even about whether or not it's going to happen. It's when.
Well, and beyond that too, right? Because now there are certain shows that come through that require wanding if you don't have metal detectors and all this stuff, and it's like it's starting to get intense.
Yeah. No. I mean, but it's also, you know, because people need to feel safe, right?
But let's also talk about the fact that it's been 8 years since Pulse, right? And
it's been
and all of
almost
the other
30 plus years
shootings-
since Columbine.
right, and all of the other shootings that have
Right.
happened, and not that it hasn't happened elsewhere, but now with these traveling tours, we're really starting to feel the pressure, right? So it's like, how long is it gonna take?
For you know,
For
reform
change.
exactly.
Well,
And it's
you know,
crazy.
yeah, and it's crazy because when I went to high school, I went to one of the first high schools that actually had metal detectors in New York City in the 80s.
I think my high school was the first
uh,
in New Haven.
And you walk through and you're like, sorry, that was my teeth.
Yeah. But yeah,
That was my
I
rock
went to
hard penis.
I went to a high school with 4,000 students. We had 2 riots in 1 year. Um, one was over the death of a security guard that everybody really liked. And it's just it was nuts. So the fact that I see now as an adult, I'm seeing, metal detectors being required in certain areas and people are freaking the fuck out about it.
Right.
I'm like, picture that as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
as a freshman going to high school, and you gotta literally, we had conveyor belts like the airports for
Yeah,
our
and you
school
put
bags.
your backpacks in.
Your backpacks in, and then you were wanded
Yeah.
before you could proceed into the building, and you had a badge in.
Yeah.
Right.
High school had better security than my current job.
Yeah. No, I mean, same.
Seriously.
It's very, very true. It's insane. So
But now they're starting to make these metal detectors that don't look like metal detectors, so it puts people at ease, right? So the staff know, okay, if it goes off, and you do your whatever you need to do. But like you walk through, like you didn't even notice you walked through a metal detector.
Yeah, no, my whole thing is when you walk through an airport and they have that little shuttle thing that you have to stand
yeah,
in,
X-ray
and you go
machine.
like this,
I don't have to do that no more.
and it goes, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I feel like I just got spray
Raped.
tanned, but I'm still and raped because they can see your penis
Yeah.
in that X-ray.
Well, I mean, sort of.
I don't know.
I don't know.
sort of, kind of.
Anyway.
they'll pick up my rings.
No, so so going back to the they'll pick up something. They'll pick something up.
Yeah.
So going back to how we started the show, right? Like I think we were on episode 18, and I know that
Was it really that early?
yeah, it was very early on. I mean, we started the show. Was
That
it?
year.
Yeah, it was 20.
It must have been St. Patrick's Day that year.
Yeah, we started in March 7th of 2016.
yeah.
Yep. And then Pulse happened in June. So we were like literally like 18 episodes in, and this happened, and we were like, oh my God, how do we change from this, and what are we going to do going forward? And so, we started, thinking about, okay, what are we going to do? And how are we going to honor these 49 individuals that passed away at Club Pulse? And we were brainstorming. We called it storyboarding at the time, right? And so we were like, let's storyboard. Let's think about, okay, how we're going to do this. And we started using a song, and it was called Feel My Pulse. I remember that's what it was. And it was by an artist with the last name Leib, Leib. And one of our listeners sent us a message on Twitter at the time, which is currently now known as X, which is weird because it sounds like a porno fucking store. But anyway, and they said, hey, by any chance, have you heard the new Melissa Etheridge song that she wrote for Pulse? And this was like 2 days later, and we were like, no, we haven't heard it, because we, at the time we were very prompt about responding to social media and all that stuff, right? And we were like, no, we haven't heard it, and but we would, oh my God. So he's like, oh, well, here's the link, blah blah blah. And we were like, oh my God, the song is great. And he goes, you should play it on your show, and use it as a backdrop to your new segment, which was called Angels and Assholes. And the whole premise of that particular segment was that we would honor one of the fallen brothers and sisters from Club Pulse, and then shame 2 senators who voted against sensible gun control reform. And so the whole gist of that was we would say that person's name, we would talk a little bit about them, who they were, what they were like, their family, etc. And then we would shame 2 senators by simply calling them an asshole. Mm-hmm. And in all of this, we had music in the backdrop. And he's like, you should totally use Melissa's song. And I'm like, well, we don't have permission to use her song. And I don't know what the hell happened. Somehow, I guess someone was tagging Melissa Etheridge,
I
and
think so, yeah.
her moderator for the Twitter account was watching our conversation, and she responds, well, I'm so-and-so, and I work with Melissa's crew, and you absolutely have permission to use the song if you'd like to on the show. And so I responded with, can I get that in writing? Because you know me.
Yeah.
And she was like, sure, what's your email? And before you know it, we're getting, releases from the publishing company to use a song.
It was funny because I'll never forget because when we so before we started using the song, we had her on the show.
We didn't. We had her after.
Oh, we did?
We
had her twice.
I was getting there.
Yeah,
girl.
but you are long-winded, girl.
I'm sorry. So anyway, long story short, so they gave us permission to use the song. We started using the song as the background. We were like 3 episodes in, and then we got bold and we replied back to the email. It was like, so what are the chances that we can get Melissa Etheridge to come on the show and talk about the song? Crickets. We didn't hear nothing. Nick went to work. I went to work. Chris is at work. We're all blah, blah, blah. And like, I get a call.
And Paul, too.
And Paul, at the time, I get a call. And they're like, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I represent Melissa Etheridge. If you want her on your show, you have a slot tomorrow at 2:45 p.m. And we're like,
Oh shit!
I was like, oh, fuck, we have to do this. And so I call Nick, I call everybody else, and we're like, fuck it, we'll do it.
And we're all at work, so I was just like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Gotta go.
So we all made it to the house. We set up, at the time we had the dining room table, right?
Yep.
And I had this mini recorder, and I almost forgot to hit record for the whole thing. And
Are you surprised?
we answer the phone.
Not much has changed.
Yeah, I know. Fuck you both. And so we end up getting her on the phone, and we're all like so starstruck, and we start having this conversation. We talked about her song, why she wrote it. We talked about her bout with cancer, and so they told us you only have a 20-minute slot. It ended up being like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was longer.
She didn't want to like fucking hang up. And then here comes Paul, and she's like, I'm all about the herbal. And Paul's like, oh yeah, well, if you ever come into our area, we can sit down and have tea. And I'm like, Paul,
That's
wrong
not what
herbal. That is not what she meant.
Wrong tea.
Wrong tea, girl. And but anyway, she came on the show and she joined us. I believe it was a special episode that we had with her. That was back in 2017. It was July 27th, 2017 that we had her on the show. And so for 49 episodes, we used her song as the backdrop of Angels and Assholes. And then when we wrapped up Angels and Assholes, she joined us back on the show for episode 70 to sort of kind of come full circle and bring it home. And
awesome.
And then she invited us to Tanglewood. We ended up going to Tanglewood to see her live with Pat Benatar, and we had a great time. But anyway, the most important part about this whole story is that all of that was driven by our need to say their names.
Yeah.
And
But I also think when it comes to the song, I think what was so special about it was that she was talking from a place of we're all human.
Yep.
Right.
We're all equal. We're all the same. We all have a pulse.
exactly.
And that's what, this concept, if you listen to the episode, you hear her talk about her process with the song, and she just sat down, and the only way she could process what she was feeling was by playing, and this is what was born out of her grief.
Right. Right. And it's interesting because that happened on a Saturday, and she wrote that song on Sunday, the next day.
Wow.
And the song was published on Monday.
Wow.
It's incredible. I mean, when you
And
are,
it's a great song.
when you are gifted, when you are in the zone, when you own your craft. I mean, that's one of the beauties about artists like Melissa Etheridge, that she owns her art, she owns her craft, and she owns her process. Being creative and also being vulnerable comes easy.
Absolutely.
Right. And so, but anyway, that's the story of Angels and Assholes. We invite you to go back and check out those 49 episodes.
I cry every episode.
We all did. And reading those names has never been easier. Maybe we'll do that next year. Or I'm sorry, it's never easier to do. It
was never easy to do.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
I got you.
Thank you, baby.
Reading those names is never easy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was just, today I woke up and I felt a little uneasy until I realized what day it was. Right. And
Maybe that's why I didn't sleep last night.
Yeah, and just like, for example, when December 12th comes along, right? For whatever reason, I wake up that morning and I'm like, something's off. And then I remember, you remember, the shooting in Newtown and losing all those children. And I felt that this morning when I woke up, and I was a little uneasy about it. But, I, like most Americans nowadays, you pop a pill and you keep it moving. And I knew she was going to get a yeah out of that. No, because it makes me anxious, right? And reminds me about my anxiety and going into spaces where I feel like at any point in time I may not have control of where I am and who I am. And that's alarming.
Yeah.
So yes, that's where we are. Oh my God, you sounded like that commercial from the Ellen DeGeneres show. Anyway, at the end,
I don't know it.
when the credits go up and then her logo comes up, one of the things she always said was, anyway.
Yeah, it's part of the closing credits.
Oh, maybe
You are a fucking Ellen DeGeneres, like, fucking,
know.
like, and you never heard it?
No, I don't think so. I think I probably ended
She probably, like, turned the channel off. She was like, Ellen's not on. I don't give a shit about producers
Pretty
and anybody
much,
else.
Yeah.
I hate you. All right, but anyway. I'm going to find that, and that's going to be our opener for next week.
Okay.
Anyway.
Get Ellen on the show. She can talk about her skincare line.
I dare you. I double dog dare you, Nick. Do it.
Isn't it the same? That's the running joke that I saw the other day. The Rock has a line of shampoo and conditioner.
So let me guess. So he's got tequila.
Yep.
So now you can get smashed on tequila, and then you can jump in the shower and take a shower, and then wash your hair with the Rock shampoo and conditioner, and then read the instructions and just continue to just do that for hours.
Meanwhile,
it
you're
says
like,
rinse
why
and
is my
repeat.
hair falling out? No, thank you.
How is
I will
someone that has
pass.
no hair have a shampoo?
Promoting shampoo and conditioner.
I'm going to pass on his brand.
You never know. I mean, it may not be that bad. Don't knock it till you try it.
I'm a pass.
I'm a pass.
Bad.
So how are you, darling? Aside from everything, jeez,
I'm good. I'm tired.
you're tired.
Yeah.
You couldn't sleep last night.
No.
She woke up old, cranky, and old, tired, and cranky.
Strung out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And wait. You had gala last week. How was gala?
I did. That's part of the reason why I'm so like.
She
strung
brought
out
me
and tired.
flowers.
I did. No, gala was great. It went
I wasn't
swimmingly.
invited.
You actually were, but then Steve decided not to come. But
That fucking.
yeah, no, it was good. I had a couple people come up to me and say, "Are you okay?" The day before and the day of, and I was like, "Yeah, why?" They're like, "Well, you seem really calm.
It's not you.
Something's got to be
you."
off."
Yeah.
And so I started feeling like, okay, so I am feeling calm and I am feeling prepared this year. So what am I forgetting? And so like that's how my brain was all day long.
So doubt in your brain.
Yeah. And honestly, it was great. It went really, really well. It was beautiful. The flowers were gorgeous. We had a wonderful evening. People are sending me very, very sweet emails about the event and how wonderful it is. And
that picture of you, very nice.
Thank
Oh my God,
you.
you looked amazing. By the way,
All three of you.
blue
Hard
is
to
your
choose.
color.
Hard to
No,
choose.
I know.
So last year you wore a black tux. Don't ever do that again. I saw you in blue.
The blue's
Amazing.
better. Yeah, I think it makes
Amazing.
It makes your eyes pop.
Yes,
thank you.
yes. I believe.
Yeah, my eyes were like the same color as the suit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody's like, "What? Your eyes are like the same color?" I'm like, "Yeah, they changed with the color I'm wearing."
Yeah. So if you go dark, you're just gonna be Evelyn.
But
So
yeah, no. It went really well. I'm
awesome.
so glad it's over.
well, all we have to say is congratulations, darling.
Thank you.
That's your third one under your belt, or their second?
This is my third one at the Schubert.
Well, we're proud of you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had no doubts. You are the master of pivoting, I have to say, because when you were at Longworth Theater, obviously you had a lot of experience, working and getting gala ready there and all the work that takes. But you mastered the art of pivoting during COVID because you did an entire virtual gala.
The first big gala virtual, I think, in the United States.
Right. That really set the tone. And
Bitches were calling me from all over.
Yeah.
And then they fired me.
You set the standard for what a virtual gala really was supposed to look like. And I think that, the theater, and I mean Schubert, is lucky to have you because you work hard. You know what you're doing. You don't take any shit from anybody, and you have a vision. And if they were to support you and let you execute that vision, they'd have one killer fucking show.
It was funny.
Don't let that get to your brain, okay?
It was funny at one point. So literally I plan everything. So day of, I'm running around until the moment I shower and get ready, which I do at the theater. But I hire people that I know that I can trust, right? And so this catering company, they're amazing. They're not cheap, but
that's why they're amazing.
They have a bar manager, a floor manager, the owner, and then a dessert. What I don't know what to call. What is it?
A d'oeuvres?
No, the person that does all the desserts, a baker baker that like actually is there, right? And so at one point, the floor manager came up to me and he's like, "How is everything going? Do you need anything?" I was like, "Why do you think I hire you? Don't ask me again." And he just smiled at me. He's like, "Do you need anything you want to drink?" I'm like, "No, I don't drink until afterwards."
Proud of you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, but like I meant it in like such like a fond way. Like,
right.
I hire you for a reason because I trust you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's good. And
Yeah.
that's good to have, and that's a compliment not only to the vendors, but also to the people that work for them, right? And so
I was actually texting the caterer yesterday because I wanted to lock her in for next year, and she was like, I have so many things to do. I'm feeling so uninspired, and I'm like, wait, hold on, time out. Can I count on you for next year? She's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I love working with you. I was like, oh, okay, you were making me nervous for a second. Like, you have so many things going on, you can't like fit me in. But no, it went well. It went well.
Well, that's good. Well, congratulations once again, because I know you killed it. Maybe I'll go to next year's.
Maybe.
Steve, you're not allowed to go on vacation during gala. I rely on you for the invite.
Well, I mean, you could always buy a ticket.
I can, but he buys it for me.
No, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, sort of, kind of. Yeah, that's how it works. Jay-Bird!
And the chicken was cooked through this year, so we're good.
Which is great.
I mean, and that was just the staff meal, like not the actual chicken.
Oh, my God. Steve, you didn't hear that.
Yes, he did. He asked me if it was cooked through.
Oh, boy.
Jay-Bird, how are you?
you?
You're stuffy. I feel so bad for you. It's like, so we
My
are
allergies
literally
are kicking my ass.
mid-June, and these trees are just coming all over the place, and people are just like
this.
they're fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally impregnated with fucking, like, what do you call that?
The pollen is, it's got me fucked up.
I mean, I think Mother Nature's got us fucked up. Like, she's got us, like, confused, thinking we're flowers and we need pollen. No, we
Yeah.
don't, bitch.
Yeah, watery eyes, watery nose, congested, sounding a little more baritone.
Oh, baby. Are you taking
Real
anything
macho.
for it?
Yeah, Zyrtec.
Zyrtec?
I don't do the nasal sprays and crap. 'cause
Yeah,
I
don't
end
do
up-
Flonase.
No, I end up with viral infections every freaking
So,
time I use
do you
them,
know
so I
what?
don't
Do you
use
know one of the side effects for Flonase is diarrhea?
them. That explains a lot too. Okay.
So
That's not helpful.
so here's the thing. So you go right. Your Flonase. So Flonase is specifically supposed to like help you with your runny nose. But now you have to worry about whether you want to take Flonase and worry about a runny nose or a runny ass.
Holy crap! That explains a lot. I was never
But
aware of
yeah.
that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Diarrhea is one of the side effects for Flonase.
I can attest to that now.
Yeah.
Attest to that. Yeah.
Wow.
No. So.
But all is good. Aside from,
all is
you know,
good. Well, allergies. Yeah, it was a bit of a rough weekend for me, but
yeah.
had a bit.
Yeah, you posted something on Facebook that had me a little perplexed
Perplexed,
and worried.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm all right.
going through it?
I was a hot fucking mess on Sunday. I couldn't talk to anybody without crying.
What happened?
She's emotional like that.
Yeah, I'm emotional, Mom. So my sister's been sick, so we didn't go to my sister's house. I went home. There was really nobody at home, so it was just my mom and myself. And we got in, and I was like, Mom, I really have to use the bathroom. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be
It's
with
the
you."
Flonase.
I wish. So I go in, and I'm using the bathroom, and I hear her kind of going through my drawers in the kitchen. And I'm like, Mom, what are you looking for? Oh, I need a pot to boil water. I was like, Mom, you don't need to boil water. Relax.
Yeah.
I walk out the bathroom. She's eating dog biscuits.
Oh no.
Kind of find it funny now, but yeah. So I'm like, I'm like, Mom, what the, like I kind of, and you forget, she's got an ailment.
Yeah.
And on top of that, her vision's fucked up, so she can't really see.
For all she knows, it was bacon in there.
Yeah. And she's like, no, these are good. And I was like, Mom, spit that shit out as dog food. And she's like, pop another one in her mouth. And I'm like,
Was it like this? Was it like a bone?
like they're the little.
So like you can't really tell. That
Yeah.
Okay, unless you read it, you can't really tell.
She can't read English and she can't see. So
So that means she can't read in Spanish either.
yeah. So I just and I kind of lost it, and I kind of went off on her and I got upset. That on top of other family shit that was ongoing, I kind of blew my top on top of that.
Right.
And it's funny because now it's funny, but my mom was like, take me home. She got upset. She wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Right.
But then my wife finally came downstairs after she heard all the commotion, and she's like, Mom, you can't. She's like, it's okay. You're like, my mom, like, then I realized, this is her illness, the Alzheimer's. She doesn't connect it. No matter how much I told her, it didn't connect. All she saw was cookies.
Right.
And then after I kind of sat through it for a while, I got emotional, but I felt bad.
Yeah.
Because I went off on her.
But honestly, like Jay, you shouldn't. I hear that you feel bad, but let me tell you and let me share with you that when my grandmother was going through, she didn't have Alzheimer's, she had dementia, but it happened very rapidly.
Yeah.
And my dad had many a moment like that with her. Mainly, I think it was because he would come over and find themselves in situations where they were sitting on the couch. My grandpa would be sleeping or my grandma would be sleeping and the oven would be on.
Yeah.
And he would blow
Lose
it,
his shit,
blow his lid,
yeah.
blow his lid. And then he would feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
So it's coming from a place of love and
Yeah.
caring, and they won't ever see that, but they've had you for so long in their life, loving them and caring for them, that at the end of the day, you have to give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
You do.
I do.
And we love you. And we love you for that. And, it's worth noting that it's also commendable. You're the one that goes every Sunday and picks up your mother and makes sure that, she's spending time with family. And do you know what I'm saying? And don't beat yourself up so much.
Not
for
so much. And then,
Right.
it occurred. And,
Yeah.
and like 10 minutes later, she walks into the kitchen. She's like, you okay, Papa? And she gives me a hug and a kiss. And she's like, it's okay. It's okay. So she's comforting me, know. It's just, for me, the rest of the day was just shot. It's like, what a piece of shit. That's how I felt.
Yeah, but you aren't though.
Yeah,
but you also have to understand too that like you have a lot on your shoulders. You know what I mean? Like on top of like you've got all that to deal with constantly. And still like supporting her and loving her, and like it is natural for you to
it's
take
it's
okay. It's okay to break down.
And I think that's you're used to seeing a person that's been fine all their life, and she's been living on her own for so many years and doing her own thing, and then not even being able to read a fucking label to see it's a dog biscuit.
Yeah.
And even after you tell them, they still doesn't like connect. And I know it's the ailment, but shit, it's like, come on, why aren't you calculating? Why aren't you putting shit together? And then I'm like, holy fuck, this isn't gonna get any easier,
Right.
And I think that's what hit me. It was like a kick in the guts.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, this is not gonna get easier.
When my grandma, when it was starting, and like it wasn't like too bad yet, but
Yeah.
like you could.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Every time I would go to Florida, and I think I've said this on the show, my grandma would make my favorite dish that she would make. It was called gobladina. It's like an eggplant camperade, right?
Yeah.
And you could put it on crackers, you could put it on pasta, you could put it on whatever the fuck you want. And I remember the last time, well, not the last time, but like in the beginning, I went down to Florida and she had made it, and I was like, Grandma, this doesn't taste right. And she got so upset because I was like, I've never said like
Yeah,
her
you
food
just
was
eat it and
her
that's
food
it,
was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it was God. I was like, Grandma, what's wrong with this? She got so upset at me. Turns out she forgot to put you have to put the olives in with while you're marinating everything, and she didn't even put them in, and she just got so upset at me
Yeah.
because I think she was upset with herself,
For forgetting.
but like I shouldn't have said fucking anything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, holy fuck, like that may have been like my like, oh my
Yeah.
God, Grandma's.
Yeah, she's forgetting shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's that's kind of like when it, because I'm one of 8 kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the one who's always kind of advocating for her and taking care of her and
Mm-hmm.
kind of telling everybody else, hey, mom's not doing great, mom. Everybody talks to her, and her thing is, how's the missus, or how's your husband, how the kids. She don't know who the fuck she's asking about. She just knows they're married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So everybody's like, "Oh, mom sounds great," and I'm like, "No, she's not. She's forgetting a lot of shit." So I think for me, it was realization that, it just hit home.
Yeah.
It just hit home for me, and it was a tough day for me. So I mean, I do appreciate a lot of people kind of reached out, when I put the post up, which I appreciated. It was really good.
I'm sorry I
But-
didn't see it.
Yeah, no,
I wasn't one of those people,
Yeah.
but I know this bitch well enough
Yeah.
to know to give her space. She's a strong person,
Yep.
and she'll figure it out.
yeah.
And when she wants to talk about it, I didn't think that today was going to be a day that
Me
we would have
either,
had
but-
that conversation.
But you brought it up, bitch.
Yeah, but
Well,
Yeah, no.
he posted it public. It was on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it was,
But-
it was kind of a nutty day for
yeah,
me.
but it's been a week since that happened, right?
No, it was Sunday.
That was this
So,
past Sunday.
this
Oh,
past
wait,
Sunday.
it was
It's
this.
still, yeah. A couple
I
I
days
don't know
know.
what
ago.
day it is either.
She's already gone.
I still have COVID brain. Forgive me.
I straight
Yeah.
up have gala brain. I don't know what the fuck day it is.
Yeah, that's how
It's not a
it's
bad
been.
thing.
Yeah,
It's not a bad
I
thing.
think it's just been June in general.
But dude, know that you know
Yeah.
what? If you know this, I don't have to tell you this, bitch. You need somebody to go down there and have a beer with you and sort of kind of like talk this shit out. Just
Yeah,
give me a holla.
Wait, you're gonna go to Richmond?
Yeah, you're coming with me.
Bitch.
You're coming with me.
I'm joking.
Taking the white
nasty.
boy with me.
Kinda.
Yeah, no, we got to take the white boy to Bridgeport. All right, well, listen, wonderful 37 minutes. We do need to take a break, so we're going to do that, and we'll be back with the dish. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gents, welcome back from the break. Thank you for allowing us to do that. We needed it. We got all the refreshments, and we are primed and ready for the second half of the show. And we're coming back on the tails of a, emotional conversation. We had a lot of...
Jay got a really hard hug,
yeah, he did. We had to make sure that our girl was okay.
and Tom played with his butthole.
I did. I tickled it a little bit. But now it's time for the dish, and I'm not sure because we were off last week. By the way, our apologies. But
Hold on, time out. Before you get into Trump, I'm not done with the first half.
Okay. Well, let's go back to
I
Trish.
guess
Okay.
we're gonna rewind.
So
Rewind.
gala went well. We talked about that.
Uh-huh.
So what happened was
What happened was.
I met someone.
Get in frame, girl.
No, I don't want to be in frame.
I don't want to.
There you go.
So
Thank you.
I met this guy
You did.
on Tinder,
Okay.
and we started talking, and this was probably like a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago at this point. And then it progressed to a phone call,
Okay.
and then more phone calls and more texting
Fucking
and,
Tinder.
and whatnot. And then it was Sunday before gala, so it must have been a week and a half ago. So yeah, so I basically said, look, I really enjoy speaking, like hanging out. I mean, talking with you and like getting to know you and stuff. But just I'm approaching gala week, so like I'm not gonna see you this week. Like we're not gonna make it. Like date won't happen this week. Like we can plan for the following week or whatever if you're still interested. And he was like, oh, no, I completely understand. Like, everything was great. Also, this guy was fucking hot. Like, very, very adorable.
Like, I need to see a picture so that I can judge for myself. Like, hello?
Hello.
Like, how do you talk about someone who's, like, so freaking hot and then...
But anyway, so...
Okay.
All this said, we had been talking throughout the week, and so he decided So...
But he also has psycho-ish eyes. But
no,
anyway.
he's actually very, very sweet. But anyway.
Sweet guy.
So anyway.
It's the Puerto Rican in me being mad for you, okay? But anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So he was like, he lives around the corner from the theater, and he was like, can I stop by and say hi? I was like, yeah, of course, come by. So he came by. Wonderful time. Chatted for like 15, 20 minutes, made out. Wonderful. Like, so into it.
Behind the theater.
No, not yet. That was in front of the theater.
Oh, in front of the theater.
Yes.
Then he found out he's a student at the school across the street.
No. God, no. He's 2 years
High
younger
school?
than me. 2 years
Oh, my
younger
God.
than me.
Isn't that co-op?
Drama.
Yes, that's fucked up.
Oh, my
no,
God.
But so we continue to talk, and we're like, literally, we were texting constantly. And then on the day of gala, he was like, I know it's your crazy day. It was like maybe 10:30. I just got into the theater after I got my nails done by that crazy bitch that didn't do a good job, whatever.
And then she fucked it up even more by trying to do it herself.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so he comes to the theater. He's like, I want to come by and just see you before, your crazy day. I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Like now is actually perfect because it was like a lull, whatever. I gave him a tour. We had a great conversation. We made out in the back of the theater. It was gorgeous. Like, clearly interest. Like, clearly there was interest, if you know what I'm trying to say.
It's probably voyeurism. She was looking for voyeurism.
But anyway... So he leaves. We're still talking and all this stuff. Gala happens. And then the next day, I knew he had a long day at work or whatever, but he had a long day and he wasn't really texting me a lot. So I was like, oh, well, he's busy. He's doing whatever. And then the motherfucker just straight up.
That's it.
This is not going to work.
Pretty much. Like, I'm like super busy. He basically said, like, I'm really busy. I hate having to keep canceling on you. I had a long day. We were supposed to go on a date that night, and I had a funny feeling it wasn't going to happen because he had a really long day. And I was like, it's really okay. Like, we can like go to brunch tomorrow. We can do whatever. And they just like, he friend zoned me so quick. And I'm like, here's my thing. I don't get it because of all the interaction leading up to that day, including both of the in-person interactions. And so I'm like having a meltdown, and I deleted all my apps, accounts, everything. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And it wasn't really ghosting.
Well, I mean, no.
But like, and
no.
I actually think there was this moment where I was like, oh my God, am I actually going to start dating somebody again?
So can I opine without you getting upset?
It depends. Let's go.
Okay. So here's what I think happened, right? So the guy probably thought you were cute. Great. Amazing. You guys connected on several occasions and you made out. Great. Awesome. But I think, and don't quote me on this one, but I think that he or his intentions were more so of a hookup rather.
No.
Well, see, let me finish.
So here's the thing.
Tally it up.
When we talked on the phone for the first or second time, he asked me what I was looking for, and I told him, I was like, look, I'm not looking for a hookup. I'm looking for an actual relationship. He's like, that's exactly what I want.
Okay.
And
so someone told you
we
that.
talked about like a lot of shit.
Oh, okay, so that's exactly what I want. But then, all of a sudden now he's like, oh, I'm super busy.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
That was a hookup. He was looking for a hookup.
Why would you look for a hookup when I told you I'm not going to be available for a week, but then come to my job twice in that week?
And because
Maybe
he was kind
hoping
of
to get it in the closet in your job.
exactly
and keep it
voyeurism.
yeah,
I think he's got a thing for voyeurism, and you know,
I don't think that.
So Nick,
that is an opinion,
it really is,
and I'm not upset by the opinion.
It really is an opinion. It's my opinion, but here it's what I think. It's what I think. Okay, so he's like, all right, this guy's not into relationships. So maybe if I tell him, you know, this guy's not into hookups. Maybe if I tell him I'm not into hookups, maybe it'll happen sooner than later, and then I can just sort of kind of go about my business and keep doing what I do. People people play those games,
but I didn't get that energy from him. I mean, like, why would you tell? Like, I'm sorry,
girl. People are talented out there.
Why would you tell me about? Like, I mean, we talked about some deep shit.
There's some people that play games out there that could qualify them for fucking Oscars. Some people they get off on that shit. Yeah, I'm telling you. So I think that, you know what, he told you what you needed to hear in hopes that you would have opened your legs or your hole.
But like also, like,
and then call it a day. Because then all of a sudden, what, he's in school and he doesn't have the time for you.
But like, why would you waste the time when I told you I had no time this week?
Because he was on a mission.
Well, didn't work out, but still, like I don't think that was a thing. I just like, honestly, I'm just like kind of annoyed. Like I finally like put
and then
myself,
it puts you in this state.
But I just like put myself back out there, and I was like, I'm honestly like I was excited about it, like, and then I was just like, what the fuck,
right? And this is why I don't date people. This is why when I'm done, I'm like, your Uber's outside.
I think a lot of the times what occurs as
your nipples hanging out,
people as persons.
Thank
you, Victoria. Your secret's showing.
I was calling. I was calling I was having a mating call. But anyway.
But what was I saying? Oh, see, I lost my track of mind there.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
But I was saying, so a lot of times people, you know, they try to. So we put ourselves out there, right? And then when you're expecting something, it doesn't work out because we're expecting. I'm stuffy.
That's okay. That's okay. You got
You're
this.
expecting something to come out of a relationship. We kind of set ourselves up. So sometimes you have to realize that when you expect the least out of anything, that's just take it for what it is. I know that, you know, you're looking for someone to have a long-term relationship with. Understood. It's a lot of the same shit that happens with my stepdaughter. You know, I'm going on a date next week.
The thing is, I really don't cool though. Like, I haven't been on a date in so long.
Yeah, but that's what happens. But you meet people and you start having conversations, and
he's telling you everything you want to hear.
You're like, shit, this is nice. This, I like this. I agree with this. I agree with.
Oh, I'm gonna marry this man.
And all of a sudden they're like, I'm not interested anymore. And you're like, fuck, what's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
Yeah,
right.
and that's what it always comes back
I'm
to.
sitting there. I'm like, I mean, I know, and we all know.
Does he know you do this show?
No. He knows that I like podcasting.
Okay, but he doesn't know that you do a podcast? I was
not ready to tell him that.
Oh, okay, because if you're watching, how dare you? This is my bitch, and she's a fabulous person, and you'd be lucky to have her.
Yeah, I think
That's all I'm saying.
When we stop expecting shit from other people, things tend to fall into place.
That's right.
The thing is, it's crazy because I was not expecting to like connect with this person at all.
Well, sometimes it's just sometimes we have to remember that some of the connections we have with people, you know, just because he's good for your soul doesn't mean he's good for your whole.
True.
Yeah.
No, true.
Yeah. True. And you know, and so I saw the picture,
or vice versa.
And he's a very handsome man, but he is giving me, you know, I just want to wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and goodbye.
Yeah, I think that was just that photo I showed you. Like, honestly,
she's still defending it.
I'm defending him because I think he was a real, like, just in talking to him and like whatever, he seemed like a really good guy. Like, and you know me, I date assholes. I date fucked up fucking people. And for once, I was like, oh my god, this person is like human and like an adult. And like has his life together.
But you also dated very nice people that unfortunately you weren't into because probably they didn't look like that. And then, you sort of had to kind of like let it go.
Are you talking about that one person?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, that's different.
Totally like same interest,
And
same
it wasn't
thing.
about looks. It was about other things. It was about attachment, neediness, and like clinginess.
Yeah. So that could be too much of a good thing sometimes.
I'm just saying is you need to be open to the possibility that this was someone who was on a mission and he thought that maybe by doing the gesture of coming to your job and making it seem like he was, oh my God, I'm going to make it seem like I'm super interested. I'm getting in this boy's pants and I'm just going to get it over with and then I'm going to go back to my
Maybe it was
life.
just maybe I could get a quick hookup at the theater.
Yeah, you never know. Nick, the truth is you never know.
You went
met
back
the
to
guy,
You're
and
right.
you
I
knew
never
him
know.
for a week.
The truth is, you never know. But I just don't think that was.
He had to walk
I
back
don't think it was
home.
voyeurism. I don't think that was the
But
thing.
you knew him for 1 week.
You know, honestly, what I think it was.
What?
I honestly think that he was not interested in me.
As much as you thought he was.
Yeah,
Could
And
And that could also be.
and
That could also be.
I honestly think that like. I don't know. It was just so. There was such a hard cliff.
Right.
Yeah.
So it would be a lot easier if they just looked at you and be like, "Yeah, you're not what I'm looking for," and just walk
Exactly.
away.
Just honestly, like
Gay people
Rip
don't do
off
that,
the
bitch. You know
Band-Aid.
that.
I literally, I was trying to give him an opening. I'm like,
Straight
what the
people
fuck?
don't do that shit either.
I'm like, if you are not interested, that is fine. Just tell me. I'm more than happy to tell people I am not interested.
Yeah, but not everybody functions like you, and you know that you're functioning on a different, on a completely different wavelength, and so it's a hard life for gay people in dating. It really is. Like
If you don't look a certain way, if you don't act a certain way, if you're too femme, if you're too butch,
right,
it's-
too fat or not too skinny.
too
then
busy,
you get put in a corner, and
and not for nothing, not of a certain standing in the community
right
could be a thing.
yes it's pretty crazy. I mean
I feel like maybe that is the same for heterosexuals too, but I don't know if
think
it's just more like
it's a whole
defined
different
in the gay community.
it's a whole different ball game for gay people.
Mhm.
It really
Bats
is
and
because
balls.
It's
and a catcher
and a catcher
when they get to
or
catch.
the occasional 2 or 3. The last really serious, like, long-term relationship that I had ended in 2007. And actually 2006 into 2007. And after 7 years with this person, I was devastated. But I found myself, and I look back at it now and I reflect on it. I was definitely not a person that I wanted to be. Right?
No,
I
I
was
know, but I
neurotic.
finally feel like I'm in a place where I am good with me,
And
and that I think is so important in dating.
take that with you, because not everybody's going to appreciate you for being you,
It's a lot.
because sometimes it's all about them,
It's a lot to handle.
right? And when you're not in that equation and you're simply just, sorry to say this so bluntly, a hole, for them to satisfy their itch, it's really troublesome, because fucking online dating is just a fucking nightmare.
But also judging me off of the week of gala is not fair.
Well, it is. So here's the thing.
But in a way, it
I
is
get
kind
it?
of fair because I think
It is. Can you get me a
because-
tally up?
No, because I think it's you at your highest, right?
Not
This is me,
necessarily
I'm-
highest. It's him at his
Yeah, you're
at his most eccentric.
eccentric. So you're on top of your game. You're on the ball. You're
Well, we don't
So-
know.
so a lot. And I understand because you got shit to do and you got shit to
Right.
do yesterday.
It can be
not today.
intimidating.
So that can be intimidating to some people. They're gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
I could see how I could have
in
been
a way-
intimidating last week.
In a way, it's
Yeah.
exciting. Because
Like you're walking
it's-
around the theater, snapping fingers,
And
like,
And then, like,
this needs to happen.
The last thing that I sent to him before I stopped hearing from him pretty much was that photo that you both said I look amazing in.
Yeah.
where I'm like all decked out in my suit at gala.
Maybe he was jealous. Like, who's these other two people next to my potential future husband?
Oh, Stefan,
That's not it.
Stefan is very attractive.
That's not it.
I don't think I sent that to Jay. Did I send it to both of you?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said.
But that's not it. No.
I said,
Yeah.
wow, very nice. Hard to choose. You
But
forgot.
I look at
That's
it this way, regardless of all of your flaws that I know, you are an exceptional human being. You're caring, you're loving. You go out of your way to make sure that
I brought you plants today, bitch.
You did, and you love people, and you are truly, genuinely a very loving person.
At the end of the day,
It's his fucking loss.
true. But at the end of the day, and it is a quote that I will live with until I meet the person. Girls, I'm literally been dating for fucking 37 years. I'm tired. Where is he?
He's coming, girl. He's coming. Hold on.
Where is he? If anybody doesn't know that reference, it's from Sex and the City.
Was that Carrie?
No, it was
Please don't tell me.
Charlotte?
Oh, it's Charlotte. Yes, that's right. That's
I'm
right.
tired. Where is he?
Oh, bitch, please. She was only married once until she met Harry.
Yeah, but
That was it.
she was like, I've been dating for 37 years. Where is he? Oh my God, 37, 87. What the fuck? Oh, it hasn't been 84 at least.
Well, exactly.
Okay, we're good.
No, you're good. You're good. You still have time, girl.
Sorry, I needed to vent.
No, and that's important.
I needed to share that story because, like, for all those people out there that are dating on these apps, it fucking sucks.
It really does.
It really fucking sucks. And you get excited. You finally exchange numbers. You start talking to somebody, and then it just fucking
Dies out.
It sucks. And prime example, I deleted all my fucking apps. I was so upset.
But see, you
No,
shouldn't
you
have
go-
to because
yeah,
you're
but it
literally
happens, I
cutting
think.
yourself short. You might meet the man of your dreams, which is the very next profile.
Well, can't swipe left no more.
All I'm gonna say
When he
is,
reloads it, it'll be like, welcome back again.
right. It's like,
Profile number 36.
Oh no, Jay, I went deep. I deleted my fucking
Everything?
profiles and like my everything, the app, the profile, everything.
oh, so you asked to delete even the information.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was upset. You see what you did?
Bitch.
Stop stringing people along thinking, that you're going to be this amazing guy and that you're going to want to.
Yeah, but I think for some people, it's hard to just let other people down. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just like, it's tough. It can
Yeah.
be crazy.
No,
But
I've been on the market for a very long time, and in between that very
she's on
long
sale
time,
and she still can't find it.
girl,
She's
I
on
di-
clearance
I'm
at this point.
at this point.
Buy it now, Price.
I'm on the fucking clearance. Like
She's on fire sale.
I'm being sold at wholesale at this point,
Fire sale.
and still no
Everything
takers.
must
So
go.
don't feel bad.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know. I feel for you, girl, but don't let this break you because
Oh no,
honestly,
I'm fine. I'm like,
it's not
fine.
you.
But it's just
It was him.
Yeah, but it's just like I said, it's like
I think
dating.
you deleting everything is such a Nick thing to do, though.
Oh, 100%. I was like
Yeah.
emotional sitting on
And
my
then
kitchen
she'll go
floor.
to Hawaii next week and we'll download them all over again.
I'm straight up emotional on my kitchen floor, like Magnus, Magnus.
You motherfucker!
I fucking don't
teach
need this
you.
app. I don't need this app. Fuck you, Archer.
Oh my god!
Swipe left on this bitch.
And then you're like, "Fuck her!" Oh my god, I can't.
I'm sorry. I just needed to like talk that out a little bit.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
though. That's cool. That's good. That's good. Lord have mercy. One night stands.
Therapy.
They're horror. This is our therapy session. This is why we do this.
But when my therapist listens to the show, he's like, "I'm worried for you."
Why? Because you're being honest and you're
No, he's worried more about the direction the conversation goes.
always, but it's us.
He's a voyeur. What did you say he was?
He likes voyeurism.
Voyeurism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are people who like to actually
No,
like.
I know what it is.
Okay, I'm just making sure. So does your therapist listen to our show?
No, I have to get a new one. I got fired.
Oh, you talked too much shit on the show.
No, she retired.
Oh, she retired. Okay, but did she listen to the show?
No.
Okay, so how does she?
Maybe.
So how does she know that we were talking about all this shit?
That was a joke.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I missed it.
Yeah.
Missed it.
Right over her head.
All right. So
Right over her headphones.
gone. All right. Well, listen. We don't have too much time left. We do have to wrap up shortly, but I just want to say, the past 2 weeks have been one hell of a roller coaster when it comes to the news. I don't know if we talked about this before, but for the first time in U.S. history, and a former American hashtag not my president was convicted and is now officially a felon. And whether or not this individual will actually get jail time is inconsequential to me. The fact that he has, like most doctors do, like MD or this, felon in front of his name just makes me so happy, because this person is a horrible, human, and that he did it. And I'm really proud of this jury in the city of New York that came and did their duty and found this man guilty, given all the facts that were presented. And it was truly a historic moment in American history.
You know what pisses me off, though?
What?
This was a moment that I was just going to be like, I'm going to lean into this and I'm going to hold it over my family's head, because my family has just gone left.
And they don't care.
No, they all laughed at me. They laughed at me like...
They all laughed at me.
They're all laughing at me. And I'm like, well, it happened. They're like, it's not going to stick, man. He's not going to jail. No. Nah. I'm like, but he literally got convicted, guys.
Of all counts.
Like, I'm not wrong here.
And what we tend to forget.
They're all going to laugh at me.
No, we also have to remember, if he does run again, which he is.
Well, he is running. He's the presumptive nominee.
So going forward, for the American constituents and everyone in the United States that's hiring an employee, will felons still be a requirement on your employment application?
Right.
Not if
That
you're the
should
CEO.
be removed. Because
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
look at the
if the
implication,
president
No,
of
it's
the
different. It's
United
different. It's different.
Yeah.
He's the CEO. He owns the company. So it's different. He won't have felons working for him. Well, actually, he does. I lied.
does.
Yeah.
So
He had a slew of them that were all convicted that he pardoned in his first presidency.
exactly.
Manafort.
So
Yeah, I mean,
you know what pisses me off the most about it is, like, you're sitting here laughing at me and laughing at the fact that this just happened.
Right.
And this person could be representing you as an individual,
Right. A felon.
representing
nonetheless.
the United States of America.
A felon.
And you're sitting there as my family and laughing at me.
Because a felon got convicted.
Like,
The facts convicted him.
it's not like, it's legit.
I know. It's done. It's a done deal.
He is guilty.
He is guilty. Guilty, girl. I am guilty of sucking dick. He is guilty of committing fraud.
But it's also like it's like he's fucking guilty. So if somebody else that wasn't him was guilty,
they would be shunned by society.
and you would have been like fine with it. My family would have been fine with it. He deserves it.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
right.
But because he was the president, and a
Not-
shitty one,
Not MAGA
paper
Jesus.
towels?
Right.
during a fucking hurricane.
Right. Yeah, no. I know, girl. Oh my gosh, she's hanging around Puerto Ricans too much. She's literally going that's
No, the Puerto
first
Ricans were like, "Give me a paper towel."
That's the first thing she goes to as a reference to Donald Trump. It's oh my god, I said his name. It's paper towels.
I'll never forget that image in my head.
I'm proud of you, Nick.
I'll never forget that image.
It was very offensive to me, and you know, but the sad thing is, there are people on the island themselves that still protect that man,
well,
that still advocate for that.
Not
man.
everybody's lucid and of sane mind. And
well, that's
Right.
it's like, how did,
Right.
when did we get to this place, like, where, I mean, like,
that felons can run
well,
for.
smart people, like, I'm sorry, I personally think that some of the MAGA constituent don't necessarily educate themselves as well as they should.
But there's a lot of them that are smart, and the only reason why they're supporting this shit is because they have an agenda, and it's going to make them in one way, shape, or form richer, right? When
But
you
a
think,
lot of people that don't necessarily have that agenda or won't necessarily like be richer because of the presidency.
no, they're not going to be any better for it. They just
Like,
don't know any better.
Yeah. But and those are the ones that aren't saying anything.
Right.
They're just kind of standing on they're doing what France did, sitting on the sidelines.
Right, and but here's
Watching what happens, and they're running towards the winner, saying, "Yay, you won!"
Here's another argument that they're making. Oh, this is a Democratic Party attack on. This is Biden's Justice Department coming after a former president because it happens to be election year and the person that he's running against, and therefore he wants to actually eliminate his competition so that he could remain in office, et cetera, et cetera. Biden's son just got prosecuted and found guilty of all the 3 charges that he was charged with: in possession of a gun, in lying on an application about a gun, et cetera. And you know what the first thing the current president said was? I will not pardon my son.
Hey.
He literally threw that out there, went out in public on a public forum and said, my son will not be subject to a pardon, not from me.
Well, I mean, smart.
Right? And
Come on, Trump
but it
wouldn't
just
give 2 fucks. Look
he
at the
would give
people
2
he
fucks.
pardoned.
If Don Jr. was like on the fucking guillotine, he'd be like, I pardon my son. Doesn't matter what the fuck he did. He
Yes,
could have
he
raped
would.
25 women and he would pardon his own son.
Most likely.
I think he would. I mean, you pardoned Paul Manafort. You pardoned, what's the other asshole that used to be
He pardoned
a whole bunch of
few
people
sleaze
that
bags.
got convicted. It was crazy. And so the fact that, he has that title now, felon, attached to his name, well, I know it in my...
I just want them to start seizing properties.
Tisha doesn't want to do that because then you have to sell that shit, and his properties are actually shit. They're not worth anything.
They're not worth what he claims they
Right.
They're worth.
I mean,
they're not worth what
that's the whole reason why he got convicted for over, not only
Inflating his numbers. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and won in that trial, but the hush money trial was just something completely different.
So, what I would say to everybody listening to the show is when you go to the, voting booth, swipe left.
Swipe left, always swipe left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just I don't know. I'm
really just worried about people throwing away their votes this year. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, well, we're 5 months away from election, and I don't know. I think that things will come around. Job numbers came in, and again, another record-breaking job reporting for the Biden administration. So it's, I don't know. We shall see. November's right around the corner.
Oh my
But
God.
I'm happy. I'm very happy that, regardless of what happens, whether he gets jail time or not, he's a felon. We got him.
I don't even care if he goes to Martha Stewart jail. Just take him the fuck away.
Yeah, I think, well, he better be careful because there's a gag order, right, that's still in place. And if he's not careful, Judge Merchan might actually lock him up and say, I've given you many opportunities and try to be as lenient as possible and not locking you up for violating this gag order that you cannot mention my daughter, for example, as a means to, people to attack them, or even anybody on the jury panel, or anybody that shouldn't be mentioned. You shouldn't be out there outing people and calling people names and actually asking your followers to take action on these individuals because you got convicted for something that you fucking did, you retard.
Don't
Excuse me.
say that.
I know, but
You're not PC.
I know, sorry.
All right. Well,
But anyway.
I don't know what happened to this show today, but
Yeah.
Tinder, Trump, and
the whole 9 yards, all of it.
Pulse.
All of it. But it makes me happy. Convicted felon. Yes. And pay that woman the $90-something million that you still owe her. And Trisha's right. Take his fucking properties and just sell them for 2 cents because that's all they're worth. I needed to get that out because that made me feel so good.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else we want to talk about? Bitches! It's Pride Month. What's happening? Puerto Rico just had their Pride.
First.
Orgullo Boquerón, right? They're the first.
No, sorry.
They were the
Orgullo
first.
Boquerón was the first.
Providence
They had
is
their
next
first
weekend.
Providence
Puerto
is
Rican Day Parade as well.
They did.
Yeah.
On the island. That's right.
Yeah.
Because even Avello that
Was
flies
doing
out of New
flight
Haven,
specials, yeah.
we're doing flight specials. Providence, Rhode Island is next week. And the week after that, I believe they do the Pride parade
Boston?
in Boston, but they also do one in New York, but in Queens.
In Queens.
It's the
No,
Queens
they-
one.
Yeah.
And then the last Sunday of the month, of course, is going to be the original
Pride New York.
Pride celebration, or I would say the Pride Liberation March, as a result of the Stonewall riots back in 1969. In 1972, the very first.
It was the summer of 69.
That's right. What a number. So, New York City will be happening. We could also expect a lot of life-changing decisions from the Supreme Court that very last weekend, because that's when they end their session. And let's see where the chips fall.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting 2 weeks. But here's the thing: if you're going out there and you're going to be participating in any of the amazing, beautiful displays of pride and love and unity all over the U.S. and all over the world, be careful, be safe. There's a lot of people out there that don't believe what we believe, don't believe that who we are merits a right to exist. And that said,
Swipe left.
go out there, be a loving person, love your fellow man, your fellow community member, and lift them up always. Be who you are, be proud, be loud, be gay, and have fun, but be careful.
Absolutely.
All right. On that note, I think we are done for the evening. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to my bitches. Trish, I think you were up first, so I'm going to give you your usual love so that you can just take us out. Here we go.
All right, everybody. Here's Mama Kim's Minute. Number 1, Bridgerton star Jessica Madsen reveals she's in a relationship with another woman.
Yes, Queen. Who's she? I got to figure out what character she is.
Number 2, Guinness just recognized this drag queer story hour as the biggest ever.
Ooh.
Number 3, Florida cities fly pride flags after the GOP's failed attempt to ban them.
Fuck you.
Also, did you guys see that DeSantis made Florida fly their flags at half-mast day
No.
for Pulse?
Did he?
Did
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
That's
Well, I think he probably had
that's-
no choice. I don't think he made that decision.
Probably not, but I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? I got to read this later.
Yeah. Send me the link, please.
Okay.
I have to read that too. I mean, and he should. I mean, June 12th is a very traumatic day for the state of Florida and for the gay community.
yeah.
Fuck you if you think otherwise, but yes, they should be flying a half-mast.
Oh, no. Yeah, I agree with it, but I was just
Shocked that it came from his
him,
office?
Yeah.
Fuck that bitch.
Bye.
Yeah.
Swipe left.
Exactly. That's going to be our new thing.
100%.
All right, Jaybird, over to you.
Alrighty. A couple of quick announcements as we're in Pride Month, right?
That's right.
So my city of Bridgeport, will officially be doing its ribbon cutting and grand opening of the Bridgeport Pride Center, 166 Elm Street in Bridgeport. Anybody listening wants to join and take part of that event, that will be happening again June 20th, Thursday. And we will also be doing the 14th annual Greater Bridgeport Pride Celebration on Saturday, June 22nd, 2 to 7. Lots of events, a lot of stuff going down. So FYI. And I guess we're moving on to our day in gay history.
So I have a question for you.
Yes,
Why didn't Ricky Mastery come to the show and talk about this?
because we didn't invite him.
Oh, fuck that bitch. She doesn't need an invitation, and you tell her I said that.
You know how she is. She is everywhere and anywhere. I know. She's
Oh, I
also,
know. She's
doing
everywhere,
something-
anywhere, and
yeah.
then watch your pants.
I know she was
Wear
recently,
your chastity belts.
Yeah. So I mean,
Okay, Glory
again,
Hole.
again, Bridgeport, Bridgeport Pride, 16th year. Ricky is one of the main people that got this started. He's one of the founders
That's great.
of Bridgeport Pride. So
Yeah.
for June, he's
Busy.
Yeah, he's everywhere. I know the Puerto Rican Day Parade is also coming to Bridgeport, I believe, this month, which is a month earlier than normal. He's also doing stuff with Mr. Connecticut Leather and on York Street coming up in another week, I think, or this weekend, June 15th.
Really?
Yeah, June 15th.
Maybe I'll show up with my.
One
with my
hell of a
leather
Pride
harness.
celebration, June 15th from 9 to 10:30. They'll be at 168 York Street. So he's got quite a few things going on. I'm
Good
kinda
for him.
going through his page.
So Ricky, we love you. You don't need an invite to come on the show. Just show up one day, sit with us, talk with us, tell us what you're doing.
Yep.
We'd love to have you.
Also, yeah, and I know recently he was awarded he was given I can't even remember.
That motherfucker
But,
should be given all the humanitarian awards. He's always into
He
everything.
was awarded in Bridgeport
And helps
for
everyone.
his- He was awarded in Bridgeport for his for his part
Activism
in
and work.
activism, work, and everything he does for the city.
I remember I was at Partners one night and someone backed into his car.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, that's happened to all of us.
No, but someone.
She took care of him. He
Oh
told
no,
me
she
took
did, she
care,
did,
yeah.
she did. But somebody backed like she was. Boom! He parked his car like right where you shouldn't at the very beginning against the wall, and everybody was just like, "Hey, no, you stop right there! I need you to give me your phone number." And blah blah blah. We know whose car it is. Anyway, we put them in contact with each other, and she took care of him, and things were resolved. But that's how much people love him in the community.
Yeah,
He's just
yeah,
that
he
type
does-
of
he
person.
does, yeah.
They look out for him.
Yeah, he does a lot. You ask him to do stuff, and he steps up.
Yeah,
he
he
always
does.
does. He rarely says no. His family's been involved with Bridgeport for ages.
Right.
His father was involved in politics for a while. He owned a Spanish record store in Bridgeport for many, many years.
Imagine that.
Yeah, Gallows.
If
Everybody,
only
in-
Ricky ran the
everybody in-
city.
Right.
Close enough. So,
Not a bad
yeah,
thing.
for
Not a bad
years,
thing.
for years, very involved in the community. So yeah, he has his roots there. So
Good. Good for him.
yeah, so just
All right,
wanted
so-
to give us some updates on that. Yeah.
So before you go on to On This Day in Gay History, I just
Yes.
wanted to make a quick notation. I changed some text on there.
Okay,
I don't want to read that murderer's
Yeah,
name on the
yeah,
show.
yeah. I wasn't
I
planning
was
on
wondering
saying
what
his
happened
name
to
either.
the format.
So proceed.
Okay, so moving on this day in gay history, June 12th, 2016, a 29-year-old murderer / terrorist
That's right.
shot and killed 49 people and wounded 53 more in a mass shooting at Pulse, a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida, before Orlando police officers fatally shot him after a 3-hour standoff. And that is our On This Day for today.
That's right. All right. Well, do you want me to take this because
Yes.
you're stuffy?
Yes, please. No, I got it.
You sure? El culo cagao.
Are we doing who won the week or no?
No.
Well, who won the week for me? Absolutely. Stormy Daniels. Thank you, baby.
You nasty.
The world thanks you.
Well, I gotta
All right.
give her kudos. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Moving on, stuffy and all. Here we go.
Go for it.
If you love the show, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting service.
You got this, girl.
By subscribing, you get the latest and greatest of our show delivered right to your favorite device or web browser as soon as the episode is published. You can also support us on Patreon. With Patreon, you, our listeners, can help to support the show with a pledged donation. The donations are collected monthly and can be in any denomination of $1 or more.
Trisha.
All right, everybody. Don't forget to get the Future Method and all other products today. All products are doctor developed, can clean out without hurting your bum. You can take confidence anywhere with the anal powder packs, and now increase your stretch goals with 3-piece anal glass dilation kit. Visit futuremethod.com to purchase your life-changing bum accessories today and book.
And book.
Don't forget the book. But
Don't.
seriously.
And it's available on Audible.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you listen to it?
I'm listening to it currently.
Okay.
All right.
I'm excited. I could just spit on your hole.
And before I forget, of course, I was a little late today because it was my granddaughter's 8th grade graduation. So congratulations to Kylie Rose.
Please
Kylie
don't listen to the show.
God, I hope she's not listening to the show. She's too young for that shit.
She's too young, but yeah, she's my bi granddaughter.
Yeah.
That's how she claims she relates to me most. But
Your
we'll
bi
see.
granddaughter?
My
I love
bi-granddaughter.
her. I love her.
I love that.
Well,
So-
before we go further, one of the beautiful
Jesus.
things. Oh, I know. One of the beautiful things about today's youth is that they're so much more comfortable with community and coming out, right? And so you're seeing a lot of youth being extremely comfortable with the idea of, hey, I am who I am.
In certain areas.
In certain areas, but I mean, she lives in Bridgeport, right? And
Yeah, but Connecticut.
and in Connecticut, and here's this young child. How old was she when she?
When she came out?
Yeah.
12.
She's probably 12 years old, and she's already, positively identifying with who she is, and it's a whole different ballgame. It took us a lot longer to be able to do that, and when we did, it took extreme courage. I don't think that children today,
In certain areas.
in certain areas,
Of the
have
country and the
those
world.
roadblocks.
Yes.
It's a lot easier for them to come out than it was for us, and it's inching one step forward to that whole premise that we've always said. We believe no one should have to come out,
No.
right?
No.
So congratulations to Kylie Rose on your graduation and for being you and being fabulous.
Absolutely. So here we go. Time to put a ring on it.
Are you sure it's a ring?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Get a ring
The
today.
metal detector
The
said
metal
so.
detector said so. ask the what do you call them? TSA agents. Our show is available on our website, gaytalk20.com, under audio podcast. It is also available as a free download on Apple Podcast, YouTube Music, and Stitcher Radio.
Proud of you, baby boy.
All right. You can find us on social media, Facebook, GayTalk 2.0, Instagram, GayTalk 2.0. You can email us at gaytalk2.0 at gaytalk20.com, and you could also find us on Tinder at gaytalk2.0.com.
Swipe left,
Swipe right.
right?
On GayTalk, you swipe right.
Oh, if you swipe right,
It's
you
a
want.
match, bitch.
It's a match? Okay, so definitely swipe right. We're kidding. We're not on fucking. Should we be on Tinder?
Fuck no, I deleted the app. Go on.
Can't we be on Tinder?
Probably.
Okay. Well, ladies and gents,
We come as a throuple.
you have to have all three of us. Honey, it's a party. Trust me. If you need to reach out to us, just head on over to our website. Click on the Contact Us tab, which is located right at the top of your web browser. There you can leave comments, suggest topics, submit a question for the cast or an individual host. You can also call us and leave us your questions via voice message. We will answer those for you on the show. Our phone number is 334-GAY-TALK, and if you need all the digits, it is 334-429-8255. Don't forget that we do stream live every Wednesday for now for our YouTube and Patreon subscribers right on our YouTube channel every Wednesday at 6 p.m. In the summer, though, I think starting in the month of July, we're going to go back to our Monday format, and which will be great for all of us. And then eventually back in the fall, we'll move back to the Wednesday format. But expect to see a change in when we publish our shows on Mondays for starting July. So thank you all for joining us on tonight's episode. I want to wish you all a happy Pride. We love you. And with that, ladies and gents, that is our show. Thank you and have a good night. Bye. Ooh.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Gay Talk 2.0. Tune in next time for more dish.